Lizzie Harrison for Card Player TV, and I'm here with the Executive Director of the Poker Players Alliance, John Pappas. How are you doing, John?
Doing great. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. It's great to have you to talk to you. So I wanted to ask you a couple questions about the website. I've been there recently. I've noticed a lot of major changes.
Sure.
What sparked the changes, and maybe you can tell me a little bit about them?
Well, we wanted to make the website a little more user-friendly.
It definitely is.
Searchable. Most importantly, we wanted to highlight the key things that we're trying to accomplish. Putting up latest news about poker in a very easily identifiable spot. We also wanted to improve our forums as well, so that poker players, members of our organization, can come on and chat and discuss things related to legislation, also just related to poker. Be a fun place for the community to come. And most importantly, we're make it easy for people to send letters to Congress, to register to vote, to do the things that become poker advocates is what we're really trying to push right now. So.
Well, that makes sense. I've also noticed a lot of poker players have become more involved with the PPA. Which players do you have on board now?
Well, we have over 1 million members nationwide.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So, we have everyone from, moms and dads to recent college graduates, but we've got a lot of the top pros.
The television poker players, as you put it.
A lot of the top TV pros have really gravitated to the PPA because they recognize us as an organization who's really the ones who are out there fighting for the rights of poker players. I mean, we've got everyone from Annie Duke and Chris Ferguson to Vanessa Russo and Mike Matusow. In fact, just today at our booth, we had Mike Matusow doing an autograph signing from 4 to 4:30. He signed probably close to 100 autographs of adoring fans. And they do it because they recognize that the PPA has an important mission, and they support that mission, and they want to, they believe if they lend their famous face to the PPA,
and bring more attention.
Bring more attention and brings more credibility to our organization. So we really appreciate their support.
I also noticed that you have Daniel Negreanu blogging on the site. That's pretty big.
Yeah, Negreanu, and you can sign up on our website and get a free poker column each week from Daniel Negreanu as well. So that's really cool. So do you expect more and more people to just continue to join as it becomes more public, basically? I think so. As people recognize that this is an organization that is out there for them. To become a member is really cheap, in my opinion. $20 a year.
$20, yeah. I mean,
$20 a year is not. It's less than going to 2 movies. So we really think you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get a lot of good representation, and we're providing more and more great member benefits.
What types of benefits do members get?
Well, right now we've partnered with a company called One Big Planet, and it's an online savings platform. So once you become a member of the PPA, you automatically become a member of One Big Planet, and that gets you savings of up to 70% on items from everywhere from Target, Home Depot, movie tickets, whatever it is. Yeah, there's
an extra incentive for people to get involved.
Plus, you're going to get in the mail a collector's item PPA poker chip, a window decal, and your money's obviously going to help our lobbying efforts in Washington, D.C., and that's really the most important thing that you really get from our organization. We love to say that people join the PPA because they're not joining because they get a cool,
card protector. Yeah.
They're joining because they're going to get our support and efforts in Washington, D.C. So.
Well, I've also noticed that a lot of the well-known poker players have been making court appearances all over the United States. I was talking to Barry Greenstein recently. Excuse me. He was up in the Northwest.
He was. The PPA sponsored a rally up there to kind of as a rally against the law that was passed, a ridiculous law that makes it literally a felony. The equivalent of child molestation. It's just an outrage to play poker online. And Barry Greenstein and Andy Block.
Oh, right, Andy was there as well.
We organized a rally up there. We had about 100 poker players come, and it was all surrounding a member of the PPA who's doing a constitutional challenge to that law up there. And we're hopeful that we can get that overturned in the next year.
Yeah, that would be great. So can we expect to see more of these court appearances?
I think we're going to see, really one of the things that PPA is trying to do as well is identify opportunities to prove that poker is a game of skill in a court of law. And wherever we can use professional poker players to go into a court and talk to a jury and demonstrate to them about why poker is a game of skill, we're going to be doing that. So I think you'll see a little bit more of that. We're going to be we haven't announced it yet, but next week, this is the scoop on Card Player TV. We're going to be announcing that the PPA is going to be having another Washington fly-in in September this year. So we're encouraging poker players from all over the country to come to Washington.
Show their support.
Show their support. Come to Washington. We'll do a rally in Washington. We'll also have a number of the top pros there as well and do meetings with Congress and whatnot. So that's really going to be a big thing for us this September.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
it will
there's
be.
one other issue I wanted to talk to you about before I let you go. I've been reading a lot about an Arizona judge, and he's trying to open a poker parlor. He's being pursued. Well, he's not a judge anymore. He was a judge. I'm sure you're familiar with the case.
I know Harold Lee very well.
What's going on with Harold Lee, and do you think that he's going to win?
You know, Harold is a true poker champion, and
he seems like such a great guy.
He is. He's a really guy. He's strong. He's strong-willed and big-hearted, and you know, we've tried to find ways that the PPA can help him. We're not exactly sure where the PPA can step in at this juncture. We'll obviously alert our members in his district about in Arizona about what he's doing, and that they rally around and support him, and we'll continue to do that. In fact, I'll hopefully talk to him over the next couple of days here to see what progress he's made, and I hope he's able to open his rooms. And
absolutely.
And if for some reason the state steps in and tries to shut him down, then I think we have real justification to go with a lawsuit, and we'd be willing to support him if a lawsuit. If it came to that, and
really,
I think that might be one of those test cases where we would be able to prove that poker is a game of skill, therefore exempting it from the typical gambling statute.
Right. So what's the best way to prove? I mean, I know we're all looking for the best way to prove it, but how can we prove to the government that poker is a game of skill?
I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's a number of things. I mean, obviously, statistical data. The great thing about online poker is that it's provided us a great wealth of data.
It's an interesting
that
point.
You can go back and look at hand history.
It's always there,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so you can go back and analyze 16 million hands and say, all right, of these 16 million hands, how many of them actually went to the river? Which I think is
it's an indicator.
It's an indicator of skill, because if very few hands are going to the river, really the cards don't mean anything. The cards that are laid out don't mean anything. It's not, on a turn of a card, you're gonna win or lose. It's all based on the player's individual skill and how they bet, how they manage the cards in their hand. And we did a preliminary analysis, and I say we, actually Howard Lederer did a preliminary analysis looking at some data and found that about 83% of hands never go to the river. 83%. So that means only 17% of hands are left to chance, really, if you will, that final card. Only 17%.
That's great.
So that's it. That's the kind of data we need. We also have a lot of like Case Western Reserve in Cleveland, Ohio, just recently put out a study. So we need some independent verifiers. It doesn't help us a whole lot if we have. It seems a little self-serving if it's just the Poker Players Alliance saying it. We need to have independent people, independent sources coming out, studying the issue and saying that poker is a game of skill. And we're trying to help push that along in some of the academic circles. So.
Right. Well, thank you very much for coming in to speak with me today.
Pleasure to be here. Great to be in Las Vegas, and great to be at the World Series as well.
Absolutely. Lizzie Harrison with John Pappas for Card Player TV.